Okay, welcome back. And in this video, let's talk about the swing of Ben Griffin. Take a good look at this golf swing. He's obviously on a roll lately. Very interesting backstory to this player. Quite a bit of struggle to get to where he is now, but let's take a look at where he is, where he's going. He's got a good match against head-to-head with Scottie Scheffler tomorrow. Well, let's see how he's going to do. From this angle, taking a look at the iron swing from down the line. Pretty interesting player. He gets this thing back in a very closed or non-rotated position halfway back, that club face looking down at the ground where a lot of players are these days. And you'll see, I don't want to say a swing similar to Scottie Scheffler, but there's interesting characteristics that are similar. They certainly came up at the same time, junior golf, college golf, and then onto the tour about the same time. And he's just had a longer road to get there. He's battled some injuries and whatnot, and also just tried to get a lot stronger in the gym. But as he gets that thing up there, the club's sort of stuck up in the air, not a lot of wrist cock at all, which is similar to Scottie in a way. Club face in good position, left wrist super flat in solid position. Then he just sits down hard in those legs and starts pulling down on it. And there's a lot of jump, a lot of off the ground with this guy, a lot of extension and flip on the way through on some shots. And on the other shots around the greens, there's a lot of hold. There's a lot of just keeping that face dead square. But he gets a lot of sort of sling on the way through. And apparently as a kid, college player, not that great with the ball striking, but now due to the strength increases, he's really getting it together. If you look at a wedge shot compared to the iron, backswing, same club face position. At this point here, not as much wind up. Obviously, it's a wedge shot, but that same ultra sort of flat, non-hinge position halfway back. Quite interesting. As he comes down, drops it in, just sort of stays flat-footed there and rotates it through. So no jump on the wedges. He's not coming off the ground. He's staying flat-footed, allowing that thing to plane out nicely. And when he comes through, the face is less rotated on the way through, like all good wedge players. And to his own words, he's always been okay chipping and putting. It's more been the ball striking until recently that sort of held him back. Another look here at the wedge shot. Nice pitch onto the green. Same thing, quiet legs. Rotate the upper body. Very different move here than with the full swing. Total control of that golf club. And once again, staying on the ground nicely, which does help you plane it out and control the face. This is where it gets pretty interesting. Looking at these driver swings, you can see his numbers from the TrackMan there. Not off the charts with ball speed and whatnot, but he's certainly getting longer. The more he's working out, he's getting stronger. Club face, same position. Really nice takeaway there. And once again, as he goes up, club sort of held up in the air. Not a lot of wrist hinge at that point. And now really sitting. So there's that sort of modern move. And I think a lot of people that are natural at golf do that. I've got a lot of junior golfers that I coach that tend to sit down hard in the legs and then power it up. And certainly he does the same. And then you'll see him get off the ground. A lot of movement with the legs and feet. Justin Thomas-ish. Scottie Scheffler. Patrick Reed. A lot of movement, a lot of sling at the bottom there. And that sling motion, you know, if you're weaker or maybe not as strong through the body, it's harder to control that club face. But clearly he's getting a lot stronger, so his control is improving. So he's really into taking supplements and to just getting stronger in general. And it's paying off. And that's a move right there. If you're struggling to create force, you start working on creating more downward motion, sit down, relax those arms, let it come through. You're going to be in good position. Now, obviously, the top of the swing, this is a flat position that we all strive to achieve with that left wrist. Keep that left hand a little more in control than the right hand. But that move right there, which is start to get power. And what's fascinating about this player is some swings he takes, he looks very jumpy. He gets so much squat in that initial move down, and then all of a sudden he jumps up out of it, and he gets this sort of crazy finish sometimes. But if you look at these short irons, he's down and jumping, but that club face is hanging right in there, super square on the way through. And he's just sort of hanging on there to keep it from rotating too far over. And some of his swings you can see on the highlights look very strange, and others look more traditional. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens coming down the stretch at the Memorial and how he hangs in there with this new golf swing and the body that's certainly stronger and more tuned to high-level golf. And this one's a little bit more interesting. I would say it's a little more traditional. He has a little more hinge there at the top. Still jumps out of it. And he's got that major extension through the ball. Really whipping the club through there. And then finishing it. And all these players, if they're getting on tour and a great junior golfers coming up and working their way up onto the tour rather, most of them are very flexible. They become strong, but that flexibility really helps. If it's something you're struggling with yourself, work on your flexibility before you work on a lot of strength, and you'll find that your golf game will improve tremendously. And there's a more traditional looking golf swing. One last look here, different viewpoint we can see here as looks like he's up there at Carmel. You can see he fires, comes up, and there's a major extension on the way through as he slings those arms through there. And trust me, the arms aren't doing the work. It's coming from the lower body and core, and he just extends like crazy. But if you look at that club face at this point here, that club face is not rolling over a whole lot. And so here's a player that's very in control of the club face, a lot like Scotty. Like I said, you'll see Scotty hanging on for dear life all the way into these giant finishes. And that club face rotates slower through the hitting zone for these really good ball strikers, because the more slowly this face is rotating, the more control you have at the bottom. If you flip it straight over at the bottom, you can time it out sometimes, but it's very hard to time it out all the time. So watch out for this. And like I said, his swing starts to look very odd when he starts to sit super hard and then jump like crazy. And then this sort of whipping extension move looks very weird and sort of awkward into his follow through on TV when it's live. Slow motion, we can slow it down. He looks balanced, which he is, but at full speed, it's quite interesting to watch. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching. So who's your pick for final round of the Memorial? Are you going to go with Ben Griffin with his move here, sort of the sit-down sling? Or are you going to go more for world number one Scotty Scheffler to get it done? Hard to know who's going to play well. Both are playing well. Sounds like Ben Griffin is very confident, not afraid of the moment, so we'll see what happens. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.